Hi everyone, this is Jean Ryan, State Park Interpreter, and I am live at the Antelope Valley, California Poppy Reserve. And you may be wondering why I'm here when the park is closed, but we are doing what we can to bring the park to you safely in your home. And hopefully you're nice and safe. It's a nice Saturday morning, maybe sitting at home in your pajamas all day, why not? But we are practicing the recommendations for staying safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. I have voluntold my two sons, Joshua and Elijah, to be my film crew today. So Eli will be reading any questions that you have. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. He will pass on any good questions that you want to ask me live. In the meantime, we are sterilizing equipment, staying 6 feet away from any other parties here. We do have some staff that's keeping an eye on our gates, but we are practicing all social distancing recommendations. So, we have a question already?
No, I'm saying we have 20 people watching already.
All right, 20 people watching already. Wonderful. All right, so as you can see, I'm up here on one of our hillsides at the Poppy Reserve. And we do actually have a better than expected bloom this year. We were not expecting a big bloom because we didn't get very much rain. But as we know, we got a lot of rain in April, kind of unexpectedly. And that's kind of caused a extension of our season and definitely an improvement that we weren't anticipating. We have a lot of poppies this year. We also have a lot of fiddleneck. Fiddleneck is a native plant that a lot of people don't like because it's prickly. Those little prickles are actually a way for the plant to avoid losing a lot of moisture when we get those winds out here. So, yes.
Question, what's the temperature like today?
Oh my gosh, I am already sweating. A great thing about the desert is it's a dry heat, but it is already not a dry heat. So it's feeling more like summertime swelter. And it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, so that's why we're doing this early. But the temperature, we are, expecting to be in the 90s, and that's probably going to have a pretty big effect on our bloom. The poppies, poppies can definitely withstand a lot of high temperatures, but a lot of our other plants a lot of our other flowers are probably going to succumb to the heat because like our early season flowers are they usually fade mid-season, but with our late rains, we've got the early and mid-season plants all blooming at the same time. So any other questions?
Yeah, so on Act, can people go up there to take pictures with the poppies?
Well, there are a lot of people who are coming out to the Antelope Valley. I hope that they are local, because the main reason that we closed the Poppy Reserve is because although this, we want people to get out and stay healthy and visit their parks and exercise, the Poppy Reserve brings people from, usually all over the world and definitely all over the country and absolutely all over the state. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who are out here are not people from the neighborhood, because we don't have this many people in the local area, in the rural Antelope Valley. So having a park like this brings people within contact of each other that are from different regions, and so we're trying to not cause that to that possibility to happen, to have people from different regions passing on the COVID-19 virus. So that's why we closed this park. It's a destination park. It brings people from other places, and encourages people to get together in their cars to go on a road trip. So yeah, the answer is the park itself is completely closed. There are a lot of people who are coming out to the Antelope Valley and taking pictures. A lot of them are tagging the Poppy Reserve, even though they're not actually here. But, hopefully they are all staying away from each other. Just so you know, all of the areas that are around here, actually, Eli, if you would like to pan around this way, it's because I have a wire tied to me. If you look out over this way, Eli, can you get the distance? Off in the distance there? I don't know if the sun's too bright, but That's all fields of poppies, but it's also all private property. Hi everyone, this is State Park Interpreter Jean Ryan at the Antelope Valley, California Poppy Reserve, and this is our second live broadcast of today to bring the park to you while you are safely in your homes.
Can you drive around the area?
So the Antelope Valley is actually having a bloom all over the place. The whole valley pretty much is covered with poppies. So we do have public roads that you can drive on, but it's not up to us to enforce, people going on private lands into the poppies, but that is a, potentially a trespassing issue if the landowner decides to take that up. So, yes, question.
Is the bloom smaller than usual?
Actually, we're having a bigger than expected bloom, but it's not a super bloom. I would say this is a great bloom, but not a super bloom. Super bloom is the entire park covered with poppies at the same time. This year we have patches of poppies. We actually have a lot of other flowers too, that are in patches. But it's kind of not all happening at the same time. We have like the flat areas blooming. We had the slopes blooming, and now the flat areas are blooming. So I'd say it's borderline super bloom, but not quite. Yes.
Is this particular place good? Why is this particular place good for poppies?
Well, there was a study done in the 1970s that found that the most consistent poppy-bearing land in California was at the west end of the Antelope Valley. So that's why the park was established in this area. California poppies actually bloom from Oregon, or they grow from Oregon all the way down into Mexico. So it's not specific to California, but they definitely do love the heat. They're very well drought adapted. So, they put their roots down really low, and we actually had poppies blooming in July last year. That was definitely something that was unusual to have them blooming that late, but we did have enough soil moisture for those poppies to still go until July. Here at the Poppy Reserve, we're actually on DG, granite. This is a granite-based butte that we're on, so it's very porous. It has good drainage, so the poppies do like that too. Yeah, question.
Is there any animals around the area?
Yeah, two of them named Josh and Eli. All right. Don't trip on the tripod. Stop it. Yeah. So, other animals, smaller animals. We have coyotes. We have bobcats. I haven't seen a bobcat here, but yeah. What?
100 people are watching.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yay, 100 people. Thank you for watching. So we have, there's coyotes. Hey, Eli, could you stop walking around? Because I don't know if people can hear you. Can you guys hear Eli's footsteps crunching around on the granite? Anyway, all right, stop. So we have a lot of rabbits. Just this morning coming in, we saw rabbits. We have quail. On the trail, since we don't have all the footprints on the trail, I can see lots of animal tracks, and we've got a ton of lizards and kangaroo rats. Yesterday, I saw my first rattlesnake of the season. We have Mojave greens here. We were expecting a big season for snakes because we had a lot of baby snakes spotted a couple months ago. Never saw a snake since then, so that was really surprising that we have had no snakes out, but it's been really cold, so that's probably why. But so let's see, what else do we have? Bumblebees. We do have badgers. Never seen one, but we have seen badger holes, badger burrows. And we have one in a stuffed one in our visitor center that was actually hit by a car nearby, so we do know that badgers are here. Is there another question? You guys are...
No questions so far.
Okay. Other animals that we have. Yeah, coyote actually, I just found a coyote burrow right off of the trail that if we had a bunch of people walking around here, that wouldn't be there. So animals are definitely getting more comfortable in the habitat without a whole bunch of people here. So there's a raven, but ravens are everywhere. What else have I seen? We've seen the quail. So, all right, well, go ahead and, add any other questions that you have. Behind me, I'm actually looking towards Fairmont Butte. Fairmont Butte was actually a really significant Indian site. There was a quarry over there for rhyolite, which can be made into projectile points like arrowheads and spear points. So this is one of the most significant sites, American Indian sites here in the Antelope Valley. So it was Katanamuk. Yes, question.
Is there bears? Wait, no. Is there hawks and raptors and eagles around?
Oh, absolutely. You know, something that we've noticed a lot of this year is harriers. So northern harriers, it's pretty easy to spot them by their behavior. If you see a hawk that is just coasting really close to the ground, not getting very high up in the ground, off of the ground, just going across the ground, and you can see a white rump patch. That's like a white patch on its butt. That is a northern harrier. And you can see it because they fly so low. So we've seen a lot of harriers this year, more than usual. Question.
Do bears roam through here?
No, the only bears here are on my patch. So we are in the desert. We are a transitional habitat though. So as you can see, we've got mountains right there. This is the western end of the Antelope Valley. So there's mountains on both sides of us. This is where the valley kind of comes together, and we're like right there. So it has happened that bears have come through here. Usually it's after a major forest fire and the bears are, they're just trying to find new habitat. But nearby here, there was actually a bear that was treed in a phone pole because there's no forest here for them to tree in. Yeah, question.
Is there any other flowers here?
Oh yeah, we've got poppies. So let's see, Josh, if you wanted to swing around over here. We've got a bunch of fiddleneck. This is all fiddleneck right here. And these are forget-me-nots down here, these little white flowers. Yeah, Josh, you can zoom in if you want because it's on a tripod. It's just wiggly if you're not on the tripod. So these are forget-me-nots. These are the fiddlenecks. There's also, let's see. So you got the lupin, the bush lupin in the background. Let's see, what else over here? We've got a bunch of gold fields. Gold fields are all those yellow patches that you see that usually happen early in the season. They're usually one of our early season plants, and by mid-season to late season, they've turned brown. They've kind of like an actual gold color, golden brown. But this year with our late rains, they're still going. They are starting to fade on some of our slopes. So I think that our peak has ended, but it's still such a great year this year that it's still pretty amazing. Question.
Besides poppies, what else is blooming?
Okay, so I think I just went over that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What tribes were living here?
Okay, so tribes. So we don't usually talk about tribes specifically because tribe is a federal recognition of an Indian culture. There are a lot of Indian cultures that were never federally recognized. So a lot of people say tribes and that's what they mean, cultures, but saying tribes kind of disregards a lot of cultures that know that their culture is different from the people over the hill. So in this area, this area was occupied by mostly the Katanamuk Indians, and all these Indian cultures are still around. They are smaller, but they are still in existence with some like little to moderate amounts of the culture still alive. So the Katanamuk were here, but the Tatavayam were in the mountains just to the south of us, and borders changed over time. So there was no set boundaries, like we have today. But there was actually 120 different Indian cultures that were trading through the Antelope Valley. So it was a very significant trade site with a lot of cultures present here. Question.
Mountain lions. Those are mountain lions.
Yes, there are mountain lions. Mountain lions are everywhere, but they don't like people. So we don't see them very much. I've never seen a mountain lion in the wild. I've been with parks for, since 1997, 4 years or something. I don't know. Josh. 1997, so it's 2020, so 23 years. So I've never seen a mountain lion in the wild. I am pretty sure I've been watched. You just get that feeling where you're walking next to a cliff and then things are just too quiet. So, but yeah, mountain lions have a very large territory, and they have a 25 square mile territory. So one mountain lion is in a very large area. Question.
Did he see bird nests with eggs or chicks?
Do I see bird nests? I don't see bird nests. The birds that are out here are ground nesting. You know, we don't have any trees here at the Poppy Reserve. Well, except for 2 Joshua trees that we planted in the front because they are native. They're as a demonstration garden. But down the street is Ripley Desert Woodland. Arthur B. Ripley Desert Woodland State Park. It's 7 miles down. It is open. It's walk-ins only. Always has been. But there's a lot of bird nests in the junipers and the Joshua trees there. So that's a really great place for seeing birds. Question? What?
The phone's getting warm.
Okay, phone's getting warm. We'll take one. Well, we'll just go for like 1 more minute. One other question. Yeah?
What time of day is the viewing most magical?
Oh, desert sunsets are spectacular. Now the poppies close up around 4:30, so it's not the poppies that make it spectacular, but when you've got the sun going down on one side, on the other side of the sky in the desert, you've got purple and blue and pink and amazing colors. And if you have a full moon rising through it, that's why I came to the desert. I fell in love with the desert. Yeah.
How long does the poppy bloom season last?
It's always different. So this year I'm expecting it to last a little longer because we had those April rains, so we have a lot more moisture in the soil. But it's unpredictable. With the heat that we have, we're going to lose a lot of there's like starting this weekend we're going to have a lot of heat out here. So we're going to be losing a lot of our flowers probably by next week. Question.
Do you have an online shop?
An online shop. No, we don't. Our gift shop is run by volunteers that already struggle to, take care of everything during the season. So and this was of course unexpected. So, oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. So my lovely new water bottle, custom. So this year, yeah, they probably could have gone online, but there just wasn't time to prepare for that. And our season is so short. We usually close the visitor center on Mother's Day unless there's a reason to stay open longer. So, yeah, the volunteers are already very busy. Volunteers are the busiest people. And once you retire, you get busier than you were when you were working. So yeah, I'm afraid we don't have any online sales. Sorry. All right. So I think my phone is getting hot. Oh, thank you. Sorry. And so are we. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for staying home and staying safe. We will do another live broadcast. I think I'll go over to Arthur B. Ripley Desert Woodland State Park and do a live broadcast over there so you can see what it's like over there. So give me about maybe half an hour or so to get that set up. That's another last question.
So yeah, just one last question. Are there many meadowlarks?
Oh yes, there are. My mic is probably not picking them up because they're over there right now, but we have horned larks and meadowlarks, and it's beautiful. That's most of the bird calls that we have here. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you're all nice and safe at home in nice pajamas, enjoying your Saturday morning, and tune in to the Arthur B. Ripley Desert Woodland State Park Facebook page in a little short while, and we'll be going live over there. And thank you to Josh and Eli for being my film crew.